The first Saturday in July. 2 precious minutes. 4.25 million rand. Saturday, the 7th of July. Whose time is it? The Vodacom Durban July, Africa's greatest horse racing event.
Up to speed, we get them done in just over an hour. But that's number 16, Rocket Countdown. There's your fact file in him. And so Kev, Robbie Fred might just be the rider.
Well, I don't know if they're going to let him loose out of Mauritius because they are a tight stable there. They're riding for the Jabera set, but yeah, he hasn't got a rider at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see who does ride it, but Orsted, I think, deserves his place here. There's the beans left.
Yeah.
They're growing well.
They're growing well, yeah.
Looks like a triple dead heat to me.
Yeah.
But, the crowd is gathering.
Is that Goodman up there? Goodman next to the cameraman? Yeah, that's Goodman at the top.
Goody,
yeah,
he's getting his sixpence worth.
Yeah, he's an analyzer. There goes John Lewis, the photographer.
He's been around. He's seen a few Julys come
he's
through.
photographed a few champions.
Yeah.
There are people waving at the crowd. They're enjoying this. And there's Des Gonzalez, him and I think it's his daughter. They're always at the races, representing Mario Ferreira. In the background, we have some wavers. Right, let's get back. We're going to get this first gallop underway, but it's starting to. We're starting to fill up nicely. I know it's early and it's brisk and crisp, but let's go on upstairs to the commentator.
Thanks very much, Paul and Kevin. The first of the gallops underway. That'll be Rocket Countdown. Rocket Countdown ridden by Stuart Randolph and printed in the race card as the rider. So take it as Stuart Randolph will be riding Rocket Countdown come big race day, which will be the 7th of July, 4.25 million rand Vodacom Durban July. And as they ease into their pace, you'll notice that Frozen Tune and Luke Ferraris, they're going to tow along. Not going a hard tempo. You can see both of them on a hard hold, mouths both open, but the horse we'll concentrate on is the big racehorse Rocket Countdown from the Candice Bass Robinson stable, and of course they stabled Marineresco, saddled last year, making some history there, so well done to the stable. A horse like Rocket Countdown, he's a son of a lardo. He's owned by the Basses, the Blomkamps, Governors, Riley, Smiths, host of connections, bred by the Oldland stud. And Stuart Randolph, of course, he won on Power King, so he knows exactly what it takes to win the big race. 36-1 is the current odds, so some big odds there about this individual Rocket Countdown as they're about to sweep the turn and they come down towards the final 500. We will give the 800 to finish and also the 400 to finish. Frozen Tune and Luke Ferraris just idling in front, and there you'll see the move from Stuart Randolph to just glide across to the right-hand side, those distinct white markings with the feet, and certainly comes cruising through at the 300-meter marker. So if you like Rocket Countdown at around 36-1, Stuart Randolph taking him through his paces. Frozen Tune's about a length away back second, but now you can see Poetry in Motion, Rocket Countdown, just asked to stretch ever so slightly coming to the last 50 meters. If you like Rocket Countdown, here he goes, the 3-year-old. Big race rider Stuart Randolph, who partnered Power King to victory, so he certainly knows what it takes. And there you'll see, just asked him to stretch coming to the last 50 meters. Got those nice distinct markings, big white blaze, and he's got the white feet there. So lovely stuff from Rocket Countdown. The Bass Robinson stable, of course, Marineresco last year. Stuart Randolph, a lot to like about Rocket Countdown. He's got the draw and only 53 kilograms to shoulder. Runner-up in his recent efforts. And this is a horse who will give you the times. We have got them, so we'll give them to you. The 800 to finish, 51.84. 51.84, and the 400 to finish 23.48. The guys on the ball today, 800 to finish 51.84, and the 400 to finish 23.48. Down to the guys.
Yeah, Kevin striding out well. He looked well.
Thanks to Sheldon, his confirmation. I just received on my phone that Stuart Randolph will be riding Rocket Countdown. And I thought moved well,
moved very well. So you're talking about the Vodacom Durban July?
Yeah, for the race itself.
Stu Randolph's
Randolph's riding it. So as you know, Stu knows where the winner's box is with Power King. But This looks like the July favourite, if you ask me, Left. I
Yeah,
can see the colours.
Fred Krabbier's colours, yeah.
Scar. Grant van Niekerk, who I think is going to be declared. Let's have a look here. Well, he's on it today, so he'll be riding it. It's going to be interesting, Left, just to see how much work he does do, because I think this was at a great prep, and I think he deserves to be favourite.
Yeah, he's a very good horse, and here, just having a look at the horse trotting back, he galloped well, this horse, Rocket Countdown. Stewie looks happy, and that is. But getting back to African Night Sky, he is the ruling favourite, as you say, Kev. Out with the lead pony. He's got to be a fit horse. He's had 2 really good preps. He's unfortunate in the one and made up a lot of ground in the other. Just talking about riders, is Grant going to ride him in the big race?
I would think so, Left. You know, especially I think that most of the guys that are galloping him today are going to be the riders, unless by some unfortunate chance the guys couldn't make it. But there's all the details.
So
still no jockey as
we looked,
advertised, but I would presume that Grant van Niekerk. When I saw Fame Herb on the other one.
Yes, I'm just thinking about Arthur Marcus. His name was bandied about. Remember, you've got to have weight consideration. But well done to Fred Krabbier, a great player in the industry. Highlands Farm Stud, massive players, and good to see them having their advert flighted for the rugby when the Springboks were playing England. But here we go. African Night Sky is a regally bred horse. And he comes from the top yard, and he is favourite, and going to have plenty of followers. I think he's about 18.
Five runners from the Snake Yard Left.
Yeah, wonderful achievement.
Very, very
wonderful
powerful.
achievement. And I think this horse has got a wonderful chance. So he's going down to the mile mark, and we'll see how he's moving. But we do know that he's a very fit horse, and Kevin seems to think it's going to be Grant van Niekerk.
I think he's going to be riding it, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does, Left. Nobody been on the poly yet. He's still using the turf, as I know the turf is in excellent condition.
There's one poly gallop today.
Is there one?
There is one.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that. But there's African Night Sky on your screen at the moment, head in his chest. He has a lead pony, and he really, really does look well, Left, I must say.
Yeah, he's a beautiful animal.
Yeah, absolutely, he's a striker. Grant going to put his glasses on. I don't know if he thinks that
Dynasty and Silvano are always dominant in this race. They've got fantastic results in the big race here, fantastic results around the country. 2 superb stallions, and this Dynasty is the epitome of what a good horse should look like.
Absolutely, look what he looks like, Laffy, just rearing to go. He wants to get going. Coming up towards the 1600 metres, I think that's where he'll be jumping from. Sheldon's going to call him back to us. It's going to be just interesting to see what splits he does do and how he does it.
That's
it's going to be interesting. But
Kev,
for me, I think he's definitely a horse that's going to be in a shake-up.
Kev, what's going to happen with regard to our friend Arthur Marcus then? What will he ride?
At the moment, reading between the lines, he hasn't taken a ride.
Yeah.
What is he going to
ride?
ride?
Is Twice Over still up for grabs?
Which one?
The Twice Over horse, sorry. The 3-year-old.
Do It Again.
Do It Again, yeah. He's up for grabs.
I've got his name down here for him to gallop. I'd be devastated to see Anton sitting in the stands on the
I
great
believe
race.
he's still feeling that wrist. You know, he won the Derby this weekend with It's My Turn.
I heard he is still feeling it a bit, but he has sped things up to get back for this big day. But
it's only 10 days away.
Only 10 days away, but Arthur Marcus, he's on.
He's won it 4 times, I think.
He knows where the winner's box in. Do It Again. I'm going to put a line through his last run. I thought it was his second run after layoff. His run before that was very, very, very good.
He won the Guineas.
He won the Guineas, and I think he's going to be a big runner in this year's Vodacom.
Just looking at this horse, Kev, it looks very well. You can see it from behind as well. They put the boots on in front just to make sure with 10 days to go you don't have any hiccups.
You don't want to overreach.
And
there we go.
Back leader's out on the course, and he's working out with a very good stablemate, if our records are right. Eyes Wide Open, the Derby winner. These are 2 very good horses. One's a Philanthropist and one's a Dynasty. Again, yeah, that's right. And very attractive horses. Looking at them there, they both look very well. And it looks like Richard Ferree's on pack leader, who's first acceptor, and it looks like Craig Zaki. You'd know the jockeys better than I do.
Yeah, it looks like Craig,
Yeah, on a very good horse, Eyes Wide Open, a Derby horse. So it'll be interesting how they go, but we are also waiting on the favourite. So they're trotting down the back. Here is Grant van Niekerk. He's just starting to let the big horse have a look, tongue hanging out. Let's go on upstairs to the commentator.
Thanks, Paul. This is the ruling favourite, African Night Sky. From the 1400, very, very cosily. He came out with his tongue slightly out and his head twisted, but he's just here to show his well-being this morning. You can see hard held from Grant van Niekerk, and Grant van Niekerk's actually got a cheeky little smile there, just saying, come on, boy, let's just relax. We've been here before, we've done it. And come the big race day, we're going to come blasting through and we're going to give it a full go. Of course, African Night Sky, there is 22-10 available. He is the ruling favourite for the Vodacom Durban July, the R4.25 million Vodacom Durban July. African Night Sky, his sire Dynasty won in 2003, and of course a horse called Legislate also has come out to win, so certainly looking super duper stuff. And if you cast your mind back to African Night Sky, that Cup trial victory, scintillating, awesome, out of this world, and that's one of the most impressive displays in a long time. I really enjoyed that commentary. It gave you goosebumps. You could see he was 5-6 lengths off, absolutely cruising, and if you have blood flowing through your veins, you really enjoyed that race. That would have been a race to really perk you up. Coming to the final 500, you'll see African Night Sky just being taken through his paces. Grant van Niekerk knows him exceptionally well. And of course, when he won the Cup trial, he came from the back of the field. He absolutely glided through. He won with total authority. Son of Dynasty for Fred Krabbier, bred by the Highlands Farm stud, 22-10. As he comes down to the final 350, African Night Sky for the powerful Justin Snaithkamp. And of course, they know all about it. Dancer's daughter, Legislate. Here he comes, African Night Sky, just lifts his head slightly, coming to the 150 and not being asked to do any more than he has to, and that's what's going to be. Here he comes, down to the winning post, African Night Sky. African Night Sky, that's the name you pencil in. Here's Prick just past the winning post, and I'm sure all will be very pleased with that. Just a nice exercise canter, stretch the legs, loosen the muscles, and just to tell the people and all the rest of them, I'm here for business. There's a look at the last 300 metres. Of course, Grant van Niekerk, they were most unlucky in the pinnacle in the penultimate run behind Star Express. Things did not work out. He should have come through cosily. But a breathtaking performance in the Cup trial. Can't take it away from him. Did everything right from the back of the field. Only top horses make up that type of ground and absolutely glide through. I've got the times here. The 800 to finish. 800 to finish is 60.75, 60.75, and the 428.77, 28.77. And of course, you're not going to read into that because he was hard held, just showing his well-being. He's just here for the Gallop to show all the punters how he's looking, and he looks in fine fettle. So there you have it, the ruling favourite African Night Sky from the Justin Snaith team, and Grant van Niekerk for Fred Krabbier, taken through his paces.
Well, Kev, we've got a moment before the other two stretch out. You were saying he had it on the wrong lead, the wrong leg.
He was leading on the wrong leg around the back there, left, as Sheldon says, this horse showed us absolutely nothing today, but his record speaks for itself. Oh, just one question.
He looks well.
He looks very well. One question, if that was a trial, would he have passed?
66.
Yeah.
Might have failed.
Might have failed.
But that was for 800. So he
for
definitely would have failed, yeah. But Kev, he's
he looks
shown us
very
enough.
well,
We've seen him over the last couple of weeks. He looks very well. He came through quietly. They're not doing too much and they know how fit he is. And
I like the way he looks, Leffy.
Yeah, me too.
He looks happy.
He's a beast.
And as Sheldon says earlier, we've seen how good he is, Leffy. We know how good he is.
Right, let's go on upstairs
Gold
to the
standard.
Gold standard.
Pack Leader. That's the next of the Gallops. Pack Leader taking his part. And this is from the Glenn Cotson team. And just looking at Pack Leader, he is reserve runner 1. So he's the first of the reserves. He is drawn out at 17. He's a son of philanthropist for the Krigor stud, the Hattings, bred by the Hallmark Thoroughbreds. And he has just a nice look at this individual Pack Leader. He's a lovely specimen. And he'll be taken through his paces with a horse called Eyes Wide Open. So that's a horse you've got to keep a very close eye on. He'll probably be a warm favourite or well fancied in the 12th race, which will be the Greyville Convention Centre handicap listed. That's race 12 over 1600 on the turf, so we'll keep a close eye on him. But as they spin for home, pack leader Richard Fourie, of course, knows Legislate. He brought him home, and Legislate came through to win. Richard Fourie, and on the outside, we're going to see Eyes Wide Open, just getting the hurry up and the shake up. But at this stage, pack leader, he's just cruising. He's doing everything he's been asked to do. He's been kept on the bridle with a slight niggle, just some hand movement there, but nothing vigorous coming to the last 100. And then all of a sudden Richard Fourie says, come boy, let's just give a little bit more coming to the post, and just to give that winning acceleration, puts 4 lengths between himself and Eyes Wide Open. There's the visuals of the last 100 metres of pack leader, and he is the first reserve runner, so I know there'll be a lot with bated breath, just holding that breath to see if pack leader could get in. He's a horse who's taken on some decent ability and decent class-wise. He can come through the last 50 metres. Here is pack leader. I've got the times for pack leader, so let's just give you those times. Pack leader, 800 to finish, 47.08. 47.08, and then the 400 to finish, 23.29. 23.29.
Right, there we go. He looked very well and moved beautifully. Had the stablemate, the Derby winner, thinking about it all the way. And I believe we got a video clip of Coral Fever, the winner of the big one in Joburg, Robbie Sage's horse, the Judd Pot. We're going to have a clip of him working now.
There's a look at Coral Fever, and this is one of the recorded gallops, so we'll just take a look and see exactly where Coral Fever is. This is from the Robbie Sage stable. He's won his last 2 heats. He'll carry 60 kilograms. Muzieni from draw 4 at this stage. 16 to 1 the current odds about Coral Fever. So 16 to 1, Muzieni, Robbie Sage. He's racing with 2 unknown companions, so very difficult to see at this stage where is Coral Fever. The visual's not all that clear, but we'll take a close interest as they spin around. That could be at about the 600-meter marker. They're going to come to the outside of the cones and come to the extreme outside. They all look to be in black and red there, so down the middle of the course, we got a runner there on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, Coral Fever could be between them because that's the blinkers on. So let's just have a look. That could be Coral Fever between runners there, and I'm just going with the blinkers. Can't tell from these visuals that Coral Fever is a Judd Pot from the Robbie Sage stable, 60 kilograms. He's gone back to back, and he's going to have to carry that 60 kilograms. And I presume that's Coral Fever now racing away from his 2 unknown stable companions. Big race rider will be Muzieni. He's partnered him in most of his races to date, and that looks to be Coral Fever coming through with flying colours.
Thanks very well. There we go. Well done to Robbie Sage putting that out there for Colin Bird and his horse.
Good gallop,
very good go. Very good trainer, Robbie Sage. He's always known his stuff.
Knows his story. Top weight.
Yeah, it got a lot to do, but he's a very good horse, and that's the first of our Gauteng gallops. It looks very cold up there, Kev.
Rankies Fontaine this time of the year left. You don't want to be there, but
yeah, it looks cold.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, the next one we're going to be looking at, they're out on the track for us.
Elusive Silver, I think this is.
Yeah, this isn't Elusive Silver. No, this looks more like Matador Man. No, this is Do It Again. This is the twice over horse I was talking about again for Justin Snaith. This is Do It Again because those are the colours.
There's Anton Marcus, you're 100% right.
Yeah, is it Arthur?
Oh, it's Arthur.
Okay, so here we go. Now this is interesting horse, a very good horse. Nick Johnson, Bernard Cantor and Jack Mitchell, 3 major players in the industry, and bred by Northfield Stud. Well done to them. 54 galloping weight. This is a very good 3-year-old Kev. He won the Guineas. He ran 4th in the Daily News. And the jockey, just watching this gallop, we would be leaning towards Arthur.
54 kilos, Arthur Marcus riding 54 left.
Got to work at it.
He's got to work at it, but for him to do it, he must think the horse has a big chance.
Yeah, I remember going back, Garth Puller, 49, he got down.
This is one of these races left, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to get
the weight. Did you ever have to waste?
I wasted Epitombi at 52. There was another month of hell, as they would say, but their result always ends up, if
Yeah,
it ends
so
up right.
well done to all these people concerned with this horse. He's a very good horse, and he runs in Bernard Cantor, another major player in the industry. As I say, all three of them are, and I know Nick Johnson has another one that's in the race.
Made to Conquer.
Made to Conquer. So he's well represented here as Nick. And this horse is very talented. When he won the Guineas, he came from last. Him and Sniper Shot with the back pairing. They ran 1 and 2. And I think he's a very good horse. We'll get to speak to Arthur in time to find out what he thinks about it.
I'm sure Warren maybe can get hold of Anton. You know, he's not the best guy to talk to at the races, but Graham Hawkins and his wife are in town, so that's fantastic.
There's Ash. Ash is there. Great.
Here we go.
Upstairs to the commentator.
Next exhibition will be Do It Again. Anton Marcus for the Justin Snaith team. And Justin Snaith, he has the top 3 favourites in the betting, so nothing to be sneezed at. He's been here before, he's done it. Of course, horses like Legislate, we've got Dancer's Daughter, and yeah, he could do it again. And he said this was the dark horse for the season. He has a look at Do It Again, and just looking at Do It Again, he's a gelded twice over. He's out of the Casey Tibbs mare, Sweet Virginia, and just doing a very easy canter, just showing his well-being this morning. He's here for a reason. He's been here before on 2 occasions. Of course, in the Guineas, he beat Sniper Shot with a breathtaking finish, and then 4th in the Daily News 2000 behind Surcharge. He's had a perfect prep. Is drawn out a little bit deep at 16, but with a few scratchings, he could come in a few barriers for the Vodacom Durban July, 4.25 million rand. And just looking at his pilot, who has come back from that hand injury, Anton Marcus. If you go back through history, of course, he rode Dancing Jewel in 1993 to victory. Anton Marcus, he rode El Picha. He's ridden Dunford, Hunting Tower in 2007. So if you want the man for the job, Anton Marcus, hungry, searching for another victory. And he does Do It Again, coming to the 5 peg, and he races in the yellow, royal blue epaulets, yellow sleeves and cap. 3-time winner for the Johnsons, Cantors and Mitchells. Do It Again at the 400. There you'll see just gets a flick down the neck, left-handed flick, and just to stretch out coming to the 300. And there you'll see just changes his legs now, and he's now in business mode. He's now in flight mode, and just gets another taste of the steel. And there you can see Do It Again now starting to stretch, coming to the last 150. Do It Again now kept together. There changes legs again, just short of the post as he eases up. Do It Again, the dark horse for the season, and he's well fancied in the betting. So Justin Snaith, Anton Marcus, and Anton Marcus comes past the winning post there. And this is lovely visuals of Do It Again, and he's a type of horse with Justin Snaith. He could do it again. Currently 7-1 in the betting. I mentioned Justin Snaith's got the top 3 favourites. There you'll take a look at the visuals, the last 100 metres. Prior to that, Anton just gave him a flick left-handed with the whip, and just for a stride or 2 asked him to stretch, and then you'll see just changes legs momentarily there as he gets geared down. Anton just says, thanks very much, you've done your work for the morning, and that's more than I require. There's the head-on shot. Do It Again in the yellow silks, and there you'll see Anton just for a stride or 2, he gives a niggle or 2 on the neck, doesn't become unbalanced. You can see Anton Marcus balances his name, and there he just gives him a little bit of a click, says let's just stretch for 100 meters, and then he gears him down short of the winning post, and that's a look-see. If you like Do It Again, he might be able to do it again for the Justin Snaith camp. And the times, 800 to finish, 49.80, 49.80. And we'll come back with that 400 to finish. We'll just have to get confirmation.
Thanks very much to Sheldon. And Kevin, just looking at it, you see Arthur smiling. What do you think it was because his wrist wasn't hurting, or he was pleased with the gallop?
I think he was pleased with the gallop. I haven't seen Arthur smile like that after a race for a long time.
Yeah.
But lovely mover. Interesting if he's going to ride him 54 kilos, Anton. So he's not going to sit on the stand. He'll get the weight down.
He'll get him down. He's a master. But sorry, Kev, Elusive Silver, I believe, is out there. This is a very good-looking horse, Kev. He was at one stage one of the favourites, if not the favourite, for last year's race. Look at this, a beautiful horse. But let's go on upstairs to commentator. Here's Elusive Silver, number 5. Looks very well. Up to you, Sheldon.
Just giving you that time of Do It Again, a very quick 22.69. The 400, a very quick 22.69, and that looks to set the standard. 22.69, Do It Again, 400 to finish. Apparently Grant van Niekerk is taking Elusive Silver 3's paces. That's the word just coming through, so we'll have a close look at Elusive Silver, the 1900 winner from the Justin Snaith camp. And just looking, believing, yes, looking at the officials here, Justin Snaith, Elusive Silver, and Grant van Niekerk is the word that has been jumped aboard the rider exchange there. So let's look at Elusive Silver. He came through to win the Greyville 1900. He's currently a 13-to-1 shot. And if you cast your mind back last year when things went wrong, so touch wood, hold thumbs, everything going right this year, he's a horse with any amount of ability. And if you're looking at the sire Silvano, horses like Marineresco, Power King, Heavy Metal, and Bold Silvano, so it's in the blood. And this is a magnificent specimen. Look at his action. He's on the bridle. He's hard held coming to the 500. And when he's let loose, we've seen exactly what Elusive Silver is all about. Bred by the Nutfield stud for the Bowers, Brawns, Looms, Snaiths, Trooters. And they're going to be giving it a full go on Vodacom Durban July Day. Bernard Fadeherb will be the big race rider for Justin Snaith, draw number 14. And this is a horse that if everything goes according to plan, you could see the sea open and horses like African Night Sky and Elusive Silver charging down to the wire. But what we've seen of Elusive Silver in the past, he's got that seal of approval stamped all over him and now geared down the last 50 meters. So there you'll see taking it very easy and just took a side step to the left there from the cones there. Side step to the left from Elusive Silver and coming down to the winning post. They just want everything to go according to plan. So he's just here to be monitored to show his well-being, and that's the day. Last 300 meters or so, Elusive Silver now gets geared down, and let's just have a close look. You'll see he just takes a step to the side, to the left, probably just looking at the cones in that, and there you'll see he just changes legs, he takes a step to the left momentarily, and that's just short of the winning post there. Here's the head-on shot coming to the last 300 meters, and Elusive Silver, Grant van Niekerk, just keeping him together. You can see that action. He's a horse who can certainly turn it on. He's got gears. And then we'll just see this little bit of nifty footwork. We'll see just about 40 meters from the post. We'll keep a close eye, and you'll see he'll just go to the right-hand side for a stride. I'm not sure if he has a look at the cones or exactly what it is, but you'll notice just coming down towards the winning post there, Elusive, there we go. Just seems to either change legs or just goes off a straight course for a stride or two to the outside, but won't read too much into that. Times for Elusive Silver, 800 to finish, 57.39, 57.39, and the 400 to finish, 28.29.
There we go, and just showing the track, a beautiful looking horse. But we now got time to go and have a look at Abashiri. Michael Azzi's very good horse that he's got up in Gauteng. Let's go and have a look at that gallop.
Next up will be from the Michael Azzi stable, a horse called Abashiri. Now, you cast your mind back and everybody is talking Abashiri, Abashiri, Abashiri in their sleep and everything. The Triple Crown winner, a super specimen. He now races for the Azzi, Heralambos, the Witzers, the Lummerscroll stud, and this is a horse who's been thereabouts, second to Coral Fever and fifth to Will Pays recently. Taken 3's paces over the last, I'd say about 500 meters to go. Hawaii, famous colours, just getting from Eagle Eye Craig Peters, Hawaii. Charles Engelard. So there we have it, the Hawaii famous silks. Numrock won the July silks, so we're getting some info from the Eye in the Sky there, all about Abashiri and the son of Go Deputy. He's having a crack at it, and this could be one of those horses who sets the record straight and he comes through with flying colours.
Thank you, well done Sheldon, and watching him come through, Kev, he's always been a very good horse. Is he back to himself is the question. He draws one, he gets Pierre straight in. Michael Azzi, it's a strong team.
It's a strong team left. You can see why he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Beautiful mover.
Beautiful, gets his head down.
Nice to see there's a couple of horses doing a bit of nice work before the July. You know, it is the July Gallops, as we saw one or two of them go a little bit easier. Yeah, they do. But nice to see them stretching like
Abashiri.
Abashiri.
Yeah, very good work there by that horse, and he comes down with a lot of hope from the Gauteng. So that's interesting. We've just had a look at the two of them from Gauteng at the moment, and very pleased to see them both work well. Both striding out beautifully in very cold, brisk mornings. And we're going to move on with our lot out here and to find out which horse is next on the track.
That looks like the Gov.
Is that the Gov?
I'll just take
You better tell the public who the Gov is.
The Gov is Jeffrey Lloyd. I just know that stance that he takes horses to the start, and I'm sure that is the Gov.
Yeah, the colours are right. It's made to conquer.
That is the Gov.
That's the Gov. Now, he came into my office yesterday, Kevin, had a long chat with me. And,
fantastic.
He was just saying to me he's been riding work up here, how fantastic the facilities are at Summerfeld. He said to me, some of the tracks he rides in Australia leaves a lot to be desired, but good to have him back. He was out of the academy. They went out and filmed him and his two sons.
His son's there, that's right, so he would have been there.
Yeah, so wonderful to have him back. He's in magnificent condition. I confirmed that he's retiring at the end of the year.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
Absolutely, a great rider, a great ambassador for racing, and like you say, left the facilities at Summerfeld. I've been around the world.
Yeah.
They are top class.
Top class, yeah.
You got everything there, but that's fantastic. But
right.
There's our Gov.
Let's have a look at the fact file, Kev, and this is always interesting. Justin Snaith again, Jeffrey Lloyd 53. Now,
that's not a problem.
That's Etty Braun, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know Mr. Crow's first name, but obviously Nick Johnson gives him a second chance. Bred by Michael de Brolio. He's bred and trained some very good horses.
No, Michael's, he's been a lucky man in the game.
Lucky man, and he's hard-working if you watch Carte Blanche.
Absolutely.
Now, this horse here has made his way up through Pinnacles and races like that. Had one crack at a Group 3, was taken across the course by his stablemate, Stratton. He's a horse, in my opinion, watching him race, watching him work, who wants a gallop. It's got to be hot. He's a big striding horse. And we'll see. We'll watch him work now, and we'll probably get Jeff's opinion in the next couple of days. But this is a big, strong horse who I think wants it as hot as you can get.
Yeah, I think he's that kind of horse left. I think they've got the right jockey on him. Jeff's not scared. I mean, if they're walking in front, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeff take him up and take over the Gallop for a while. Knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Wants to win the big one, and I think this is one of his better chances he's had. But great, knowing that Jeffrey Lloyd always runs in the first 3, but
he does.
I think he's had 8 thirds in the game, so he's your roving banker. But the kids and everybody enjoying themselves downstairs, a little bit of a breeze left.
Just have a look. There's no flags we can look at, but you're right, there's a breeze. But Jeff's bringing him out to go and work him now. And it'd be interesting to see what speed he has him to go at. All the Snaith's horses have gone quietly, but let's go on upstairs to the comment.
Yes, and this is Made to Conquer now on the track, and welcome back to South Africa. Jeff Lloyd, champion rider, multiple champion rider here in South Africa. Of course, when Jeff was at his peak, he was clashing with the likes of the great, just in KwaZulu-Natal, the great Michael Roberts, Basil Marcus, Robbie Sham, Jeff Lloyd, you name them, they were all here in KwaZulu-Natal. How many times these guys gave the 11-time South African champion rider Michael Roberts a run right down to the line. Of course, Michael Roberts, one of the greatest riders ever produced in the world, and certainly Jeff Lloyd is also amongst the top riders. You send a South African rider international, they do it. Name them, Pierre Stradham as well, Dougie White, all top riders. And here's Made to Conquer, the dynasty. Here's side the Vodacom Durban July winner on many occasions. Of course, Robbie Frad rode him to victory back in 2003. And then we've had Legislate, of course, which won the Vodacom Durban July. Made to Conquer stretching very nicely. You'll see Jeff Lloyd with those very soft hands on Made to Conquer. Made to Conquer, of course, has won 4 in a row. He's going for 5 in a row. He's currently on offer at 10-1 as he comes into the straight. Very alert as Made to Conquer. He's concentrating on his work. Just one flick down the neck from Jeff, and he's sitting motionless at the 400-meter marker. Just another flick there. There we go again, just to keep him alert. And here's Made to Conquer, stretching out very, very nicely. As you heard from Sheldon, the top 3 in the betting all track trained by Justin Snaith. And as Justin said, I spoke to him earlier in the week, he said the right type of horse. He's a very quiet horse for the occasion with the big crowd on Vodacom Durban July. He's got the right temperament to win the Vodacom Durban July, made to conquer. Jeff Lloyd, Dynasty, and as you've heard, Jeff has had 8 or 9 third places in the Vodacom Durban July. So this is his last shot at it. Let's see if he can get it right. And there's Made to Conquer coming past the winning post. And the will race, of course, in those colours of Etienne Braun and Nick Johnson and Mr. Crow as well, and Made to Conquer. Justin Snaith, Jeff Lloyd, at this stage he's drawn at stall gate number 12. We'll take a look at the slow-mo, and they're stretching out very nicely. Just look at Jeff's hands, so soft on this horse, and that's what top riders can do. We'll give you those times shortly. Made to Conquer, 800 metres to finish, 53.40, 53.40, and there we go. Just look at that nice loose rein, soft hands from Jeff Lloyd, motionless in the saddle, and he keeps those horses balanced, doesn't he, Jeff Lloyd? And 400 to finish, 25.44, 25.44. There's the flick down the neck of Made to Conquer. And you'll see, just looking at that, stretching out, coming at us and looking very well indeed. And as I've said, the right temperament from Justin Snaith, very quiet, especially with the big crowds and the action of the race day. You've got to respect the 10-to-1 shot, Made to Conquer. Last 400, 25.44.
Yeah, Kev, there's your mate, Jeff Lloyd.
The governor's in town. As Craig says, he's got very soft hands on horse. Good to see his action and his style back on the shores of South Africa. And
what do you think of the horse?
Lovely horse.
Yeah, big, strong horse.
Big, lovely action. His times weren't very good. No disrespect to Gov or Justin, but he looks like that kind of horse with a big...
All right, Kev, sorry to interrupt you, but Gold Standard's out there, I believe. And let's go on upstairs to Craig again.
Right, we're looking at Gold Standard, who's now on their way. Gold Standard from the Glen Cotson Yard. Craig Zaki with New Fort. New Fort is in the red silks. Gold Standard is behind it. And let's take a look at Gold Standard. Again, a nice easy clip at this stage of the game. Gold Standard is a trippy, Craig Zaki, and it's drawn 6 with 59.5 kilos. And this trippy is looking good as well as Gold Standard, of course, from the Glen Cotson Yard. Glen has also got the first reserve runner in Pack Leader. New Fort has taken them along at this stage. They'll take the turn into the home stretch shortly. New Fort is leading, coming into the stretch. Gold Standard immediately behind that. They come around those dolls. They've got just over 400 metres to go. Gold Standard is currently at 33-1 at the 400, comes alongside New Fort. And the big race rider is Craig Zaki. So he's just asking Gold Standard now to just stretch it out ever so slightly. Gives him just one flick at the 200-metre marker. New Fort is towards the inside. You'll see he's heavily wrapped up for injuries, of course. You don't want any injuries in the front legs. And here he comes, and it is Gold Standard at the business end by about 2 lengths. And he's one of the outsiders at 33-1, and this is the Trippy. And this one is bred by Mr. and Miss C of DeForce. Of course, this is the Drakenstein stud, Chigo stud. And Craig Zaki and Gold Standard come to the business end, and they have won 3 from 12. We'll take you through that slow-mo. Of course, Craig Zaki, he's in the top 8 on the South African Jockeys National Log. And there we just going low in the saddle, and then just starts to ease his mount down sort of the last 200 meters. So here we go, and here comes Gold Standard, and we'll give you those times shortly. And the times, the 800 to finish, let's look at the head down, 48.56, 48.56, 800 to finish. And here's Craig Zaki, just getting a little bit lower in the saddle, and the 400 to finish, 23.06, a 23.06 for the 33-1 shot.
Right, there we go. Nice to see Gold Standard coming through with Craig Zaki coming through well there, Kev. What do you think?
Yeah, he moved well left. I got to give him credit. Nice times, 23:06 the last 400. So made him stretch a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, Left, he hasn't won for a year and a half.
Could be right. I know he hasn't won this year. I can put that down.
Yeah. So
but listen, let's go and have a look at a man who knows how to win this race, and that's Sean Terry. Now, Sean Terry galloped Tilbury Fort and Liege up in Gauteng. Let's go and have a look at this gallop as well.
All right, so we are looking at Leisia and Tilbury Fort. Leisia's, of course, that's famous colours of Chris van Niekerk. Raymond Danielson rides it on big race day. He's another dynasty in the race. And then we've got Tilbury Fort. And Tilbury Fort is the horse Chestnut. Lyle Hewitson also for Sean Terry. And Leisia is in the colours that won it with Pomodoro and Heavy Metal. That's the horse in front. And Tilbury Fort is with the yellow and the black cap as they turn into that home stretch. And they come towards us. And Tilbury Fort has the widest draw of all to contend with at this stage. Is draw the 20 of 20. Of course, will come into the 18 at this stage. And that's Tilbury Fort nearest us. And Leisia's in the blue silks towards the inside. Leisia's the dynasty, Raymond Danielson for Chris van Niekerk. And at this stage, they match each other. So the white noseband, that's Liege. And nearest us is Tilbury Fort. And Tilbury Fort also stretching out very nicely as they come to the last 300 metres or so. Liege on the left-hand side in the blue. Raymond Danielson just clocks over his left shoulder at Tilbury Fort as they go past the winning post. And let's just see, Tilbury Fort is at 20-1 at this stage of the game.
1-2. Thanks very much. Thank you, Craig. With me in the parade ring is Grant van Niekerk, who's already had 2 gallops this morning, and the most important one for most is African Night Sky. Tell us, Grant, how this horse galloped.
Look, he galloped well. I just kept him together. Went as quiet as possibly. Just trying to go into the race injury-free. And look, coming to these big races, Justin knows what to do with these horses. The horse felt great, and hoping for a good day.
He certainly looked a picture, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he felt really well. He's feeling really well. He's feeling well. He's well-being. So I'm happy about that. We just have to make sure he doesn't injure himself going into the race. Other than that, he's fit, he's well. He'll run a real big race.
Grant, the second horse you rode was Elusive Silver.
He felt very well as well. Snake's is really feeling well at the moment. So that he's got the main hand in the July. So I'm pretty sure they'll be on top of each other.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There we go. That's Grant van Niekerk, African Night Sky and Elusive Silver. Those are the 2 he's galloped this morning. Let's go back to the boys upstairs.
Right, there we go. Good to hear Grant van Niekerk's opinion. Here's the filly. Now, another one from the Snaith Yard, a very good filly in her own right, is Star Express. She looks like she's going to be working by herself. Kev, she's locked horns with some big horses in Group 1 races.
She has left. Must give her credit where credit's due. To be able to win the July, can I put her in the Dancer's Daughter or in...
Arthur? Is that, sorry to interrupt you, is that Arthur Marcus?
No, not at all.
No.
Without a doubt, it's...
is it not? I just saw the rider. You'd know them backwards.
It's TBA.
To be announced. TBA is riding. Someone from the TBA is riding it.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. But can I put her in Dancer's Daughter, Epitomic category? Not for me, left.
Over this trip, maybe not.
I followed her last time. She got beat fair and square under Bernard Vader Herb. I think she's got a little bit of work to do, but the Justin Snaith Yard, these guys got the favourite.
And fillies flash up every now and then. You should know. If anyone should know, it's you.
Yeah, there's the fillies. If they're good enough, they can get away with it. I think if there was an outstanding one this year, might have got away with it. For me, I think got a little bit of work to do, but deserves its place.
Yeah, when you think of Justin's put this horse in the race, and he hasn't come with 2 super fillies.
Yeah.
He decided to sit out with Snow Dance and a horse of that ilk, and he's won the Met as well with the champion 3-year-old filly. So he left the 3-year-olds out, he put the 4-year-olds in. It might be a good move.
I think because of the weights left, I think
Yes.
those other fillies would have carried. Well, a 3-year-old filly can't carry more than 56 kilos, but it is a lot of weight when they deserve, when they should be coming in with 52, etc. and so forth. So.
Yeah, here's the fact file now. He's been ridden by a very good rider too. Elder de Meyer has shown that down in Cape Town he really is supreme. But Dr. Ian Haynes, a wonderful breeder. This guy breeds a lot of top horses. And then the owners, Isdell Rognan, Dave and Sue Whitelaw, I don't know them, but Kev, well done to them. They've got a run here. 55.5 is a bit of a weight.
It's carrying a little bit of pudding left for Philly, but as I said, deserves a spot in the race. And let's wait and see how she works. But another one from the Justin Snaith, as we mentioned earlier, he has 5 in the race, nearly a third of the field, so he is a main player of note.
Absolutely. So that's your fact file on Star Express number 7. Here she is. She's a beautiful filly. She's extremely talented. And I don't know who the rider is. I'm leaving that up to Kevin to work out who is, because it's to be announced. And just going down quietly with the lead pony. And she can a little on her toes, Kev, but she knows she's going to work. She's got the boots on. She's got the bandages on. And I'll leave it to you to work out when they come past who's riding it, Kev.
I'll find out who's riding it. I'll try to get a closer look there. I thought it was Billy Jacobson at one stage, but I'm not 100% sure. But she is en route home. Let's go up to Craig and he can call her back.
It is Anton Marcus. Anton Marcus is in the irons. So Anton Marcus has taken Star Express through her exercise this morning for Justin Snaith. No companion. Star Express. On the big day, Elder DeMeo will ride. Today it's Anton Marcus on the mare by Silvano. Last time out, she was narrowly beaten by The Secret Is Out. She's earned over $1 million in prize money. And you'll see she's got those boxing boots, the brushing boots. Just going through her motion at the moment. She just throws her head down once or twice. Her well-being is right there. She wants to go. Anton's just taking hold of her there again. Just the nod of the head. And she wants to get on with her gallop this morning. And it is brisk to add to that. But going through the motions very nicely. Throwing those front legs out beautifully. Currently on offer 36-1. A 36-1 shot to Star Express. And will come in at gate 9 at this stage of the game. Just look at those front legs. She throws them out with a beautiful action. Star Express, of course, 2 runs. Again, the Pinnacle Stakes. She beat African Night Sky. African Night Sky, you have to say, was very unlucky, but the victory is there for Star Express. Of course, we've mentioned Silvano through Marineresco, Power King, Heavy Metal, Bold Silvano, and here comes Star Express. Look at that side action. Beautiful. Her mouth as well. She wants to take hold and she wants to run. Anton just got a hold of her there as she comes towards that last 500 meters around the dolls and into the home stretch. And she's well. Star Express. Here she comes into the home stretch. And Star Express comes around those dolls towards the outside rail. Of course, she is a 6-time winner from her 21 outings. They're at the 400-meter marker. This is how you want to see a horse work. She's working so well, and she looks good. She's stretching out with that elastic-like stride. And Anton, his hand will be tested today. Yeah, they're talking about the injury just coming back to get to fitness. This will test him because she's really well. He just takes hold of it as she comes down to the line. And here is Star Express. Nice odds. Remember on the tote, there's 6 payouts on that day. 6 payouts on the tote. So take note of this outsider at 36-1. And this is, of course, for Justin Snaith. And this is the Silvano, bred by Dr. R.I. Haynes and a host of owners. And Elder DeMeo. He will make duty on Vodacom Durban July on Star Express. So just the last 100 meters. We said she's got the brushing boots and the boxing boots. And here she's stretching out. And when Anton let her go at about the 900,000, she always wanted to race. So she's really well. A couple of days before the big one, the Vodacom Durban July. We'll give you those race times shortly of Star Express and Anton Marcus. And from the 800 to finish, 55-1. 55-1. And the last 400 meters, 26-1. 26-1 for Star Express as we look at the head-on. And as I was saying, take note of those front legs, those forelegs, and she's throwing them out beautifully. And Anton, he certainly got her on a nice hold as they come to the closing stages. Every now and then, in the early part, she was throwing her head around. She wanted a race, and her well-being certainly cannot be questioned. Here's the 36-1 shot, Star Express.
Well, there we are. Good to see the Gov out there. I mean, Anton Marcus, or Arthur, as I call him, out there doing his job. Just talking about the Gov, for those of you who don't know, he's always made himself available to public, and he will be at the Theatre Sibaya. I think it's called the Westwood, Kev. On Wednesday evening. Jeff Lloyd will get down to Sibaya Kino at the, it's called the Westwood Theatre, I believe, one-on-one. If you want autographs from him, he will meet with everybody. So Jeff Lloyd's made himself available Wednesday evening at the Sibaya. Get down there and meet the legend. But while we're showing you these races coming out of Gauteng, we're going to show you another one. Majestic Mambo, a horse that's finding support, ran an absolute cracker here in the Daily News. Let's have a look at his gallop on the half-veld.
Right, so Majestic Mambo, that's in the red silks, and Majestic Mambo, to get to the last 400 meters or so, that's on the right-hand side. And we'll just have to see how Majestic Mambo goes there. They're a bit far away at this stage, but it looks as though the rider is printed here as Callan Murray, who's sitting very quietly on Majestic Mambo. Majestic Mambo for Paul Peter Yard. There we go. So stretching out very nicely. That's Turfentine Racecourse. That's Majestic Mambo that we had a look at from the Paul Peter Yard.
Well, good to see Majestic Mambo work out on a cold morning at Turfentine. Kev, it looked cold again, eh?
Freezing cold up there, but what a horse, Lef.
Yeah, very good horse.
He's been my dark horse. I don't think they'll be that unhappy with his draw, Lef. I know he draws one from the outside. He comes from behind. They're going to drop him in, and he'll be flying at the finish.
All right, here's the gallop. Let's go on upstairs to Craig. It looks like it's...
The Gov in front.
Yeah.
Right, so we're looking at the gallop now of White River. White River from Brett Crawford Yard, Corne Orfer, and Jeff Lloyd on Hero Quest. Of course, we know Hero Quest as a very good stayer, a strong front runner. So Jeff Lloyd is taking Hero Quest through the paces, and White River. White River, of course, this is from the Brett Crawford Yard, Corne Orfer rides. This is another trippy in the race, bred by Drakenstein Stud. This horse has won 2 occasions from 9 races, very lightly raced, and very distinct colours as well, those green sleeves and the white cap of White River. White River at this stage is drawn at gate number 13 with the reserve runners still in the race. White River is currently on offer 16-1. So he's got a lengthy stride as Hero Quest brings them into the stretch. He's stalking him. They come off around the dolls. Hero Quest, Jeff just asks him to wake up, and Corne moves a White River towards the outside with the green sleeves and the white cap, just asking him to stretch and move alongside of Hero Quest. We know Hero Quest is a horse who certainly never throws in the towel. White River moves up alongside as they get to the last 150 meters, and White River, he just changed legs there, and he's going on now. So he's very alert to the business, and he's cocking his ears back and forth was White River. And White River, as I say, he's also, just remember, 16-1. There is 6 tote places, 6 payouts on Vodacom Durban July on the big day. And White River, we'll take a look at that slow-mo replay. This is past the winning post, Hero Quest on the left, and White River that had the white cap under big race rider Corne Orfer. Of course, here we look at the slow-mo, and you'll see White River nearest us. He changed legs, and Corne still high up in the irons. As he starts to ease him down, you'll notice his ears earlier on, they cock back and forth. And Hero Quest, as we know, is a horse who certainly never throws in the towel. And shortly we'll look at that head-on as well. Here's the head-on. Jeff just flicks Hero Quest a couple of times, and now Corne just also 1 or 2 flicks and says to White River, just stretch out, get alongside to just stretch out very nicely. The 800 meter to finish, 47.67. 47.67 for White River, who is number 12 on the big race day, and the 400 to finish, 23.43. 23.43 for White River.
Well, Kev, there we go, the trippy, another trippy in the race. What did you think?
I thought, I spoke to Brett. I was with Brett on Tuesday at the draws, and he raced this horse. He's just been gelded. He was a bit of a headache. This is the horse that actually injured Anton Marcus. But He said he was going to make him work, and he did. He worked well, and I like the way he quickened the last 200.
Yeah, he worked with a very honest horse too. He was a
Yeah,
good
no
out-and-out galloper. But we're getting a lot out of Gauteng at the moment, and Michael de Kock's got Yakin. Let's have a look at that.
Right, we are taking a look now from Joburg, and it's Yakin, Mike de Kock, Randall Simons. I take it that Yakin is the second horse. All right, so it's Yakin, and it's working with Royal Crusade. Apparently Yakin is Randall Simons, and Royal Crusade is Shwara Appy. We just take it that Yakin is in the yellow silks, and Yakin, of course, this is from the Mike de Kock yard. And Yakin is the Australian bred. Starts at this stage from stallgate number 7, the Teofilio. Now, I'm just going to give you some boxing background. Teofilio Stevenson was the great Cuban heavyweight. He won the Olympics on 3 occasions. And in Cuba, you're not allowed to turn professional. He was more or less the same time as the great Muhammad Ali. But what a fighter he was, the Cuban Teofilio Stevenson. And this is the horse Yakin by Teofilio. And it moves up alongside Royal Crusade. So that is the colours that will be racing on Big Race Day. Head slightly twisted that of Yakin. And Yakin last time out fought on courageously for a narrow victory over Tilbury Fort, and of course they clash once again on the Big Race Day. They're racing very close together. Tilbury Fort, head slightly twisted, but that could be because the rider took hold of the reins, and that is the business end of Yakin.
Right, here we go. Nice to see those horses working out in Joe. Both very good horses in their day as well, Kevin.
Yeah, don't leave Mike de Kock out. He knows where the winner's box is in the Vodacom Durban July. That was Yakin. So left.
Looks like Matador Man out there, Kev. It looked like on the poly.
I think that is him on the poly.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Let's go on upstairs to our commentator. There's Matador Man.
We're on to Matador Man now, and this horse is working on the poly is Matador Man. It's the only horse that will work on the poly, and it's Eric Ngwane apparently who picked up the ride on Matador Man. Of course, Eric rode this horse when it came from way off the pace to win here at Gravel. That was over shorter, and Matador Man. Eric Ngwane, and that's working with a horse called Rebovar apparently. Rebovar. Tristan Godden in the irons, that's in the Chris van Niekerk colours. So they're about to turn into the home stretch, and Matador Man has got the yellow cap. Eric Ngwane is going to move up alongside. I believe it's Rebovar, that's the name we've been given as they turn into the home stretch. But it does look like Gareth Wright, so I'm not going to guess, but we've been given Tristan Godden. But it's Matador Man now coming home with the gold cap, and stretching out very nicely is Matador Man, and this of course from the Sean Tarry stable. And Matador Man on Big Race Day, currently drawn at 15. Smanga Kumalo, who won on Heavy Metal, will take the ride on the big day, and this is bred by Scott Brothers. It's a Toreador, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that gallop of Matador Man. Matador Man is currently on offer at 25 to 1. 25 to 1. We continue to remind you that there's 6 tote places on the big day in the Vodacom Durban July, 4.25 million. And if you're looking for another roughie, well, 6 places to be paid out. And here's Matador Man. Eric Ngwane just taken nice and easy in the closing stages, getting low in the saddle. As I say, Smanga Kumalo, he'll take the ride on the Big Race Day for Matador Man. Matador Man, of course, is going this distance again of the 2,200 on the big day, and he's a nice outsider if you're looking for those 6 tote places. We'll give you those race times shortly from the 800 to the finish and the last 400 meters. So as we look at this, and here it comes on the right hand side. They race wide apart, and Matador Man stretching out very nicely. All right, so also he's nominated, or he's in the field for the million on Sunday, of course, on Saturday, of course, Matador Man. So take note of that. He's also running on Saturday as Matador Man, and then he's going for the Vodacom Durban July. So this is just what we're seeing. He's going to run Saturday, and then he goes for the Vodacom Durban July. Take note of that. The next horse we are looking at is Dark Moon Rising. And we'll give you those times shortly of Matador Man, but they're about to hop off. I don't know if you want to say anything, Paul, quickly before they jump.
Right, there he is. He's going out there with Gat Henshaw, and the Gat's a good grass galloper, so he'll have a nice workout. He's going about it the right way, and this gallop should tell us a bit more, Kev.
Just for the records too, as Craig mentioned, that horse, Matador Man, has been scratched for Saturday, so he will not be running Saturday, but they're jumping away. Let's go up to Craig. He can bring home Dark Moon Rising.
Right, yes, this is Dark Moon Rising and Gat Henshaw. I must say one of the better horses around when you look at his looks is Gat Henshaw. Every time we call him to the start, he's really a strong individual. Paul will confirm that. And then there's the Dark Moon Rising. Now, Paul's concern with Dark Moon Rising, of course, is that there is no pace in the race. If there's no pace in the race, that's certainly well against Dark Moon Rising. But Warren Kennedy, who could forget his ride on Forest Path when Big City Life won a couple of years back? He had to overcome a very, very wide draw. One of the most talented young lightweight riders around is Warren Kennedy, and he's taking Dark Moon Rising through his paces, led by Gat Henshaw. Dark Moon Rising is currently on offer at 18 and 20 to 1 in the Vodacom Durban July. There's 18 and 20 to 1. Moves up alongside of Gat Henshaw, so we're looking at the black sleeves of Dark Moon Rising and Warren Kennedy. And this horse, of course, is the Ideal World. Very good draw. Well, some will say a good draw. A couple of others say if you get blocked in the early stages, you could run into some trouble. And then Warren's just asked him to stretch out in the latter stages, just to stretch. And this is Dark Moon Rising, the Ideal World. He's 1-4 from the 13. And this is for Paul, Warren Kennedy. And before we cross to Paul, he will tell you that he has concerns about the pace. Can I just give you Matador Man's time? 800 to finish, 44.64. 44.64. 400 to finish, 22.54. 400 to finish, 22.54. And just to confirm, Matador Man is scratched from Saturday. Matador Man, Stipes permission, scratched from Saturday's race meeting. So we got that confirmed. Got Dirk in the commentary box here, one of the Stipe Henry stewards. And Dark Moon Rising, just looking at the side-on view here and stretching out very, very nicely. And just let's look at the head-on. Gat Henshaw, Paul just confirmed, one of the best horses looking around. He always goes down well to the start. And he has the stick in the left hand of Dark Moon Rising and Warren Kennedy. 800 to finish, 48.34. 48.34. The last 400 meters, 23.24. 23.24. Let's hear what Paul has to say.
Yeah, very impressive he is. And Craig, you're absolutely right about Gat Henshaw. People phone me and ask me if they can buy him. He really is a beautiful horse. But Kev, I was very pleased with the way they both worked.
You must be happy, Lef. As you just mentioned off air, you know, you get guys coming, Warren Kennedy come and ride him, Anton Marcus come and ride him and say he feels like a good horse. And you're in the race with a chance. And as Craig says, they pay first 6 left. Not you hoping to run 6.
No,
like you want to win, but I'm saying
it's a competitive race.
You get on. He's a horse. I wouldn't leave him at
the further it goes, the better he gets. But listen, we've got one more to come out of Gauteng, and this is the Oaks winner, Secret Potion, for our own Durban boy, Sherwin Jerry. He's over the moon that he's got a run, and Jeff Woodruff's made sure of it. Let's have a look at the filly.
And this is Secret Potion working with Dia Javente. So let's just take a look at the Secret Potion and Dia Javente as they come to the last 400 meters or so. Of course, Marco van Rensburg in the irons of Secret Potion and Dia Javente. These are the two. Secret Potion is nearest us. That's in the orange colours. This is the Elusive Fort. She's a filly. Marco will take the ride on Big Race Day. And this for Jeff Woodruff. One of the top trainers in South Africa is Jeff Woodruff. And we get to the last 100 meters or so. Jeff, of course, he trained El Picha. And on the right-hand side, then, that is Secret Potion. This one, another one bred by Dr. R.I. Haynes for Jaria, and that is the business end of Secret Potion, who worked with a top galloper himself, Dio Javente.
Well, there's our boy. He looks like he took it well. Warren's scratching his ears. But I believe Warren Lenferner has managed to get hold of the legend himself, Jeffrey Lloyd.
The Gov.
Yeah, indeed, the legend himself. The legend himself. Nice to have him back on South African soil. Jeffrey Lloyd. We go back a long way from the winning form days, Jeff. and wonderful to have you in town.
Yeah, thanks, Warren. It's great excitement to be here, and you know, you never forget where it all started. And from the academy yesterday, I popped in there and he took one on the track. It was great, and to be here today to do the gallops and see all your faces, that it's just so overwhelming, and I'm really excited and happy to be here.
Jeff, let's talk about Made to Conquer. You galloped Made to Conquer this morning. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think he's a horse in the making. I think he's a horse that's progressing. He's probably still going to be even a better horse in 3-6 months' time. Feels like he stays all day, gets 3,000 Gold Cup type of horse. Really nice. I think he just needs tempo in the race. He's got a lightweight, and I can see the way he's raced that he's coming to his own now. It's taken him a bit of time, but he felt good. He's laid back. He did what Justin wanted him to do this morning. Didn't ask him to do anything more, and I was happy with him.
Well, thank you for the feedback, and we look forward to having a cup of coffee with you a bit later.
Is that all?
Well, I've changed. There we go. Jeff, I offered him a cup of coffee. He doesn't want the coffee. We'll enjoy a beer with him a bit later. Let's go back up to Paul and Kevin.
Kev, a legend.
The Gov is in town. Nothing's changed with the Gov. I'm sure you like to crack a beer open.
Yeah.
You know, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Australia. He's normally leading races and having a cold one by now.
Cold one, yep.
But the last one, not the last one, the filly of Duncan Howell's, Fiorella. She's on the track now. It's going to be interesting. There she is. There's all the credentials.
Yeah, let's just talk about that, Kev. Duncan Howell's wonderful trainer. Mark Khan's come back. He's won a Group 1 since he come back, 53. Dave McLean, a new player in the game. I flew up there to Joburg, sitting next to my airplane. Wonderful lad. He's a good boy, and wonderful to have him in the game. And Farsfontein, major players. And the home of Judpot.
The home of Judpot, you're 100% correct. But this is number 11.
This is the Captain L.
Captain L. Fiorella, I think.
Great form, eh? Look at those Group 1 runs. Look at the
managing to the best.
Beating Snow Dance. This filly's very talented.
Let's have a look at her there. She's trotting. She's moving well. I chatted to Duncan Howells when I walked in this morning. He's very happy with her. I think he's got a good rider of Mark Khan, 53 kilos. Could be the horse that goes to the front left and does it at...
yeah, it might well be. Might well be, you know.
She did her own pace in front.
Yeah. She's gutsy. She's gutsy. When she grabbed Snowdon, she showed how gutsy she was. And then in the Will Avington, she had Group 1 winners around her, and she didn't throw in the towel. She
came back for more. She came back for more.
Yeah, I think who's working with her? It's Crime
Victim. It looks like
Victim. Yeah, that's the colours of Crime Victim. And there they're coming out. It's nicely clipped Crime Victim.
Whoopsie.
Right, they're rolling. Let's go on upstairs to Craig.
Victim, that horse has been clipped. Crime Victim, Divan Neatling. And behind that is Fiorella. Fiorella, it's big race rider Mark Khan. Crime Victim is tugging against the bit. Fiorella, of course, she shows a lot of courage. She gave both O Susanna and Snow Dance torrid time in the closing stages. And very distinct colours as well of Fiorella. Talk about Mark Khan, multiple South African champion rider. Nice to see him back in the irons again. He knows how to win big races. And he has Fiorella taken through her pace. She's the captain eldest, Fiorella. And for Dave McLean, bred by Farsfontein Stud, at this stage she's drawn at stallgate number 8 as Crime Victim stretches them out. About a length and a half to 2 lengths between the two of them. Mark is just stalking her. He's following Crime Victim as they turn into the home stretch. Divan Neatling on Crime Victim, the black cap. And Fiorella, they come around the dolls. They've just got about 500 meters to travel. They turn into the stretch. Fiorella comes around Crime Victim, moves up alongside. And Mark is still sitting nice and still on Fiorella as she moves up. Crime Victim just asked to stretch a little bit. They are close together. And the stick is in the left hand, Mark Khan on Fiorella. And gives her a pat now. He changes his stick. He gives her a pat down the neck. Very happy with her workout as big race rider Mark Khan on Fiorella. And Fiorella is currently on offer of 33 to 1 for the big race. 25 and 33 to 1. Fiorella and Mark Khan with that white noseband. Here we go. Mark laughs very nicely. She jumped, so she could be a show jumper as well. To all those ladies and gents in the show jumping, if she doesn't go to stud, take note. This could be a show jumper. There's the seal of approval from Mark Khan. He pats her down the neck. He changed his stick. from left to right. And she's well, and I know Duncan Els is very happy with her preparation. At this stage, she is drawn at stall gate number 8. He gets down low in the saddle, we'll give you those times, and Fiorella, 800 meters to finish, 49.49. 49.49, let's look at the head-on, and you'll see Marky will then give her the seal of approval with his left hand on Fiorella. At this stage, his stick is in his left hand. There he changes his stick now. You'll see he changes his stick, and then he gives her the seal of approval with the left hand. So that's Fiorella. 400 to finish, 24.75. 24.75. Just take note of this. If we go far enough, you'll see she jumps. And she is a show jumper as well, with some potential as well. Right, that was the workout of Fiorella and Mark Kahn.
Yeah, there we go. A good workout in the hands with Mark Kahn. And okay, and I believe Warren Lenferner is speaking to Phil Georgia, one of the owners of Dark Moon Rising. Let's go down to Warren.
Thanks very much, Paul. Lovely to have these three merry men in the parade ring with me, the partners of Dark Moon Rising. I'm going to start with Phil. Phil, what were your thoughts on your horse's gallop this morning?
I was very happy with the gallop. I must say that I thought they go a little bit harder in the beginning of the gallop, but I was very impressed with the way they hit the line. He finished it off well. He's come back not playing too much, so we're all on track.
George, I go your opinion?
I think he was stretching nicely at the end, and I think he'll really appreciate the extra distance he's going for the first time, 2,200. So looking forward to it.
Doug, looking forward to it, as George says. I know you're a passionate man. How are you feeling?
Really excited. It's just a dream come true, and it's we'll just wait till the big day and see what happens there. That's what it tells at the end of the day, the final race. So.
There we go. That's Doug, George and Phil, some of the partners of Dark Moon Rising. They're excited for the big day, and why not? Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Warren. Yeah, it's good to see owners living their dream. And I know the guys who owned it, bear in mind, Doug and Phil had Harry's son. They travelled the world. They've had good horses, but the July has always been a big thing. Like Phil has had it with Goat. Phil's but the rest of the guys...
Where dreams come true, Lef.
Absolutely. It's great excitement. Win, lose or draw, the build-up for the next 10 days.
It's fantastic, yeah. And you've got a chance of the 4.25 million that's on offer. And this is the last gallop of the morning. That is number 13, Crowd Pleaser. Let's have a look at him. Left arm.
He's a very good horse, Kev. He won the 2200 last year.
Stay a left, and they've been dropping this horse. I can't believe it. If he was my horse, I would let him bowl.
I'll get you to phone Lawrence Werners. Those are Lawrence's, Cuddle Lawrence and his son, I think.
Werner, the king of racing.
Yeah, he's the big man in Joburg. Well done to him. And this horse is second reserve, but the horse that we'd like to have in it. And there we go. It's the Werners family. Well done to all of them. Normandy stud, 53, and it's reserved number 2. And Johan Jans van Vuren, who won a Group 1 the other day up at Scottsville. Well done to all of them. This is a very good horse in his day too, Kevin. I think a lot of people would like to have seen him in just for the reason he could make it a true gallop.
Well, he can make it a real true gallop. You know, Lef, I remember this horse, when he started in Durban, he won a maiden here.
Yeah.
And I'd say a year and a half later now, he's an emergency acceptor.
He won the 2200 last year, Kev, the consolation race, in a fantastic time.
And
so he's got the ability.
In front, bowling in front.
That's it.
Pulled him along, yeah.
He's a very good horse in his day. And let's see how he gallops today. And it should be very interesting. I didn't catch the jockey because they've been changing a couple. But look how well he looks, Kev.
No, he looks very, very well. I think it looks like Warren Kennedy, if I'm open to correction, but
it does look like him. You're right.
Looks like Warren. Yeah, he's a lovely animal, Lef. You can see he looks fit as well, but I think they'll just be hoping
that things map out for them. They can get in.
They can get in. That is the most important thing. But
a very good horse.
People don't realise, Lef, emergency acceptors. You've got to train it like they're running.
Oh, everything's the same.
Everything's exactly the same.
Late Friday.
And then you can start making arrangements from there.
I hope they've backed him up with.
I
hope they backed him up in the 2200 again, or a big race on the day for the Werners family to come down and watch, and for Johan, because he's a very good horse. And let's see how he gallops. And Warren, that was also who galloped our horse out, will have a good idea. Let's go on upstairs. I think we're just about to the starting point. So let's go upstairs to Craig.
Yes, and Crowd Pleaser on its way. Warren Kennedy is the rider. Working Lonesome is Crowd Pleaser, a second reserve in the Vodacom Durban July. And crowd pleaser. This is the Captain L, Johan Janssen van Vieren. He's a nice long horse. Of course, crowd pleaser is entered for the Betting World 2200, grade 3 of 500. He's a final field. He's a runner. So if he does not run in the Vodacom Durban July, he is running in race number 3, the Betting World 2200, grade 3 of 500,000. It's over 2200 on the turf on the big day. That's confirmed. And here's crowd pleaser. It's a nice tall horse and he stretches out nicely. Loves gravel, the poly as well. But he's on turf on Saturday. And here he comes around the turn now with Warren Kennedy. So Warren's had a few gallops this morning, so he can take note of a couple of the horses he's got to beat. He was also, of course, his big race mount is Dark Moon Rising. They're at the 400. And crowd pleaser comes into the home stretch. This one bred by Normandy Stud. And crowd pleaser gets to the last 300 meters or so, and he's working on his own. And there's certainly nothing wrong with this gallop. Stretching out very nicely is crowd pleaser. He's well being for Saturday. Take note. Goes past the winning line, and this is crowd pleaser. Of course, there's no betting priced up on crowd pleaser at this stage, as he is a reserve, the second reserve runner in the Vodacom Durban July. Warren Kennedy took him through his paces, and he runs in the third race on Vodacom Durban July. Just looking at this, and here is crowd pleaser, nice and relaxed in the closing stages. Of course, Raymond Danielson rides him on Vodacom Durban July if he takes place in the third race, and that third race, if he stays in the third, it is Raymond Danielson. So 800 meters to finish, 47.55, 47.55, and those last 400 meters, 22.41. Last 400 meters, 22.41. Please, just to remind you, race cards available for sale in the gift shop on the ground floor. They're 35 Rand each. And Vodacom Durban July entrance and parking tickets available for sale at Gate 9 from 8 o'clock this morning. Vodacom Durban July entrance and parking tickets, Gate 9, 8 o'clock this morning, and race cards in the gift shop on the ground floor.
Kev, I was very impressed with that gallop. The horse moved out beautifully, looks well.
Just for the records, left. Fastest 400 to finish on the day.
Yeah,
22.41. I think this horse deserves a spot.
Yeah.
Big players in the game, the Werners.
Yeah.
Could be the difference between a slow pace and a decent pace.
Yes.
I thought this horse really moved well.
They've got to keep their fingers crossed, because we don't want to see anybody not get a run in the race. But
don't forget, he's running on the day, as Craig said.
That's it, $500,000 rand.
So,
but we've got our mate, Warren Linfernus, downstairs. He's talking to his mate, Duncan Howells.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, Duncan Howells is with me, and we've all just watched Fiorella gallop along with Crime Victim, and we're going to let Duncan share your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Fiorella's workout this morning?
I was very pleased with her work. She's got a beautiful action. It's always a filly that you worry about because of her size, but when you see her galloping and how much presence she's got doing the work, I was very impressed with the work.
Was this the first time that Mark Khan had sat on her back?
Yes, he was very happy with the work as well. He's got the experience to guide us in the right direction in the race, and I feel she's a filly that I don't have to worry about pace or no pace in a race. She's good, and she'll give a very good account of herself.
Duncan, we wish you and Dave McLean all the very best.
Great, thank you.
There we go. That's Duncan Howells with regards to Fiorella. That's a wrap from me in the parade ring. Don't run away. There's a panel discussion, and I'm sure there's plenty of coffee and sticky buns left, but don't run away. Enjoy the panel discussion with us, and let's listen to what the experts have to say. From myself and the parade ring, Warren Inferno, thank you very much. To all the guests that joined me, thank you. Kevin Shea, Paul Lafferty, Sheldon and Craig upstairs. For the last time from the parade ring, good morning.
Yeah, thanks very much for Warren doing his job down there. And Kev, again, it's very interesting, wonderful to have these trials, and good to see the Gauteng horses doing their thing as well.
Yeah, Lef, I'm very impressed. I think everything's gone to plan. It's less than 10 days to the big day, and I think what we've seen now, Lef, is it's all about a little bit of luck, and if you can actually find the winner and have a few rand on it.
Yeah,
That's
and wonderful. We're going to wrap it up in a moment, with, but just to remind you that Jeffrey Lloyd will be at Sabaya Casino next Wednesday. Autographs, photographs, whatever you want. He's going to be down there, I think, with Dees Dynand and a couple of others. See if you can get there. But that wraps it up. It's been wonderful. Well done to everyone concerned. Very good gallops for this year.
The first Saturday in July. 2 precious minutes. 4.25 million rand. Saturday, the 7th of July. Whose time is it? The Vodacom Durban July, Africa's greatest horse racing event.